You know what? It's high time I put the other guy's LT1-350 back up on the dyno. Hello everybody, I'm Richard Oldner, and as always, welcome to the channel. Quick, let's see a show of hands. Who wants to see a dyno test of the other guy's small block Chevy? That's right, I'm talking about the Gen 2 LT1-350, the Forgotten Warrior. The guys at West Tech Performance had one sitting around for, I don't know, maybe decades. So I decided, hey, you know what's a good idea? I should probably buy that motor even though we don't even know if it runs. So what happened? Did I waste my money, or is it the start of something great?
Hello. Happy Spark. Yeah. It's up on the hoist. Now it's going right on there.
Okay, because I can't run the factory LT1 intake manifold and the OptiSpark, and I don't have a way to change that around right now, I do have a manifold that I've drilled the hole in, so we might try that later on. But the easy method is just going to be put on a carbureted intake manifold. So we'll take this off, put a carbureted manifold on it, put a distributor in it, put a carburetor on it. I just want to fire it up and, you know, run it, make sure that it's okay. And we can see how much power it makes. And then we have a good starting point, and then cam, ported heads, and then maybe some even wilder stuff. Let's pull the manifold. And we're out. Time to recharge. Got all the bars.
So in order to run our distributor, we're gonna have to pull that out. That's the drive for the oil pump. And then put our carbureted intake manifold on. And then we can slide in the distributor. It all looks clean in there. That thing looks like fresh and new, man. Pretty fancy, huh? So we don't know how long it's been sitting really. We're gonna drain out all the old oil. Obviously put some fresh stuff in. Then we'll crank it over, look at our oil pressure gauge, kind of see how much oil pressure it has. Hopefully it's got oil pressure. Usually that's a good sign, and then it should run. Okay, we're gonna fill up our little bit of oil here in our filter. That's pretty good. We'll go on the seal here. So it's not permanent. We're ready to go. No intake on, this makes it easy. Okay, we've installed that TDC. I'm gonna drop the distributor in, and then we can spin this thing over. Obviously, we need the distributor to drive the oil pump. So then we can spin it over, make sure we have oil pressure. We'll have fuel from the carburetor. We'll have sparky from this. And if we have oil pressure, then hopefully we have ignition. Okay, now we got our distributor in. We can spin this around. We're driving the oil pump, and right here is where we want to look. Just make sure that we got oil pressure. Okay guys, we got everything on, we got the headers installed, got the plugs in, distributor's hooked up. Got the coil hooked up, we got the carburetor hooked up, got the fuel lines to it. So what we'll do now is I think I have the timings, you know, fairly close. If it's at 10 or 20 or 30 or even 40 or whatever, it should certainly start. We've got fuel in it, so let's go in, fingers crossed, start it up for the first time. Yeah, it's alive. It's got oil pressure, it's taking throttle. Obviously the distributor's somewhere close. We're gonna go ahead and time it and figure out kind of where it is. When I put it where I thought TDC was, I went ahead and marked it. So we'll just use that as a reference. We'll probably go up in timing and say, hey, look, we'll start here, see where it is, see how much power it makes, see what the air fuel is. We'll go up in timing, go up in timing, go up in timing, and then if we've got to adjust the air fuel. This is a carburetor that came off the small block that I ran previously, so it should be fairly close. I'm excited that it's alive, and now it's time to tune. Let's make a pull in the dyno console room and you guys can kind of see what's going on. Let's check it out. Turn our fan on. Okay, ignition, fuel pump. We'll repeat. A couple of clicks there. Funky starting there. Probably has a lot of, it's a lock distributor, probably has a lot of initial timing in it. Sounds good. All right, let's roll into it. Yeah, big power. Well, the dyno section wasn't without a little bit of excitement. After we put it on, tried to put water in it, we had a big leak from the back. That's because of this. No problem, I popped in a new one. And we're ready to go.
Okay guys, you saw from the video we have our Gen 2 350 LT1, the other guy's small block up on the dyno. And quite honestly, I was disappointed on this first run. We ran the thing with long tube headers, we had an MSD distributor, we had the dual plane GM 4-barrel intake manifold, and on the first runs we had a Holley Ultra XP 650, and it made a whopping 225 horsepower and 289 foot-pounds of torque. We immediately figured out what was going on. I went in, the distributor was loose enough that it actually had rotated and had taken all the timing away. It's basically down to 0 timing. The timing was right at TDC. So here's what happened when we adjusted the timing. Now it started making power. Peak power was up to 312 horsepower. Peak torque was up to 380 foot-pounds, more realistic numbers. Things that we would expect from Gen 2 LT1. And here is our optimized run. This is after we installed the Edelbrock VRS, the 650 carburetor, and then obviously we did tuning and jetting and stuff on this as well. So this basically is an optimized trim, and it made good power, made 336 horsepower. Peak torque checked in at 405, 400 to 406 foot-pounds of torque. You can see it's a very good curve and almost exactly what we would expect from an LT1-350. But don't worry, this is just a starting point. Now it's time to make future mods. So I'm going to have more videos when I go back down to West Tech. We're going to do camshafts and ported heads, and obviously, we have to run some boost. I'm Richard Holder. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that stuff if you want to see more testing just like this.